Today's tech tip is about email and organizing your folders automatically. You've asked for more help and someone has mentioned rules. And they're right, you can set up rules that will automatically organize your mailbox. So if you go up into your Mail Preferences and then click on the Rules tab, you'll get a bunch of rules. There's probably just one or two that are already created in yours, such as this one from Apple. I'll just open it up to show you what it does. It'll take a set of rules that you can define to look at your messages, and if those rules are met, then it will perform some actions. So in this case, it's looking at the email address that the message comes from, and if it matches with one of these many addresses, then it will set the color of the background to this color. And that simply looks like this. Your message would be highlighted blue if it came from any of those email addresses from Apple. Here's one that I've set up for my Geek Mail forums. If any of these following rules are met, if the message comes from any of these email addresses, such as BYU Mac Users Group or Newbies Request or somebody at ProBlogger, I don't know what that one's from, then Mail will perform the following actions, which are simply to move the message to Mailbox Discussions. So if I were to go into my Discussions box, you will see that there are a bunch of messages here. And it does it automatically upon receipt. So I'll show you how to create a rule. Simply click on Add Rule and title it what you want. I'm going to call this Payroll because I just got an email notifying us that we got paid. So I'm going to choose if from contains this email address, which is workflow@provo.edu. Then I want it to move the message to a mailbox which I've set up called Office Communication. And if I click OK, it'll ask to apply, which means do you want me to look at the messages in your inbox and apply these rules? I'll go ahead and say apply, and you can see that message was moved. And if I now go down to my Office Communication folder, then you'll see that it's there. Now don't worry that you will completely lose sight of your new messages, because as you can see here, it puts a little number next to the folder, and that indicates how many unread messages I have in that folder. So in Office Communication right now, I have one unread message. Another option for that message would be to choose the subject line, and I could say it contains payroll because that email contained payroll. And what I'm doing here is I'm having Mail look at any of these rules. So if it is from this address or if it contains payroll in the subject, it'll move it to that folder. But what if I want a rule that has multiple conditions that all must be met? If I choose all of the following conditions are met, and then let's say I want only messages from Jerry that are about UCN. So if I say from contains Jerry, and from is looking at the name, not the email address necessarily. And I want the subject to contain UCN, then I want it to move the message to my mailbox UCN. So if I apply this rule, you should see the message from Jerry about UCN went to the folder, but the message from Lowell about UCN stayed. Of course, I can edit that, and really I want just the messages containing UCN in the subject, or maybe containing coaching to then go to my mailbox. And let's say apply, and there goes the message from Lowell. So that's how you create rules to automatically organize your mailbox. It saves you a lot of trouble and keeps things looking nice and neat.